Hi, I'm at David Fairclough Fine Diamonds, and David's giving me a quick lesson in diamonds. Now, this thing that you're looking at here, all right, as he explained to me, this is how diamonds come out of the ground, basically, all right, because they're crystals. Now, in South Africa, there are places where they're actually finding these things on the beach, and there's a beach in South Africa where they're actually strip mining because volcanic eruptions and volcanic movement push these things to the surface, the ones that aren't being mined. And how a cutter actually cuts into one of these diamonds has a huge effect on what's left of this original part, and then also what you're going to end up seeing in a diamond ring or in a loose diamond. And as you know, David Fairclough has more loose diamonds than anybody else. He's a direct diamond merchant, which means he gets a lot of loose diamonds. That's David Fairclough right there, by the way. and I'm at the castle today. Now, he just brought out two loose diamonds that we're looking at. And even here, and use that little tool you had in your hand, point out which of those is by weight, the larger one.
This is the heavier diamond.
It's a heavier diamond. But even on my cheap cell phone, okay, seriously, you can see, and I'm going to tip it just a little bit, but even on my cheap cell phone, you can see the brilliance of this second diamond, this one right here. And it weighs less than that first one that you pointed out. How much does that second one weigh?
It weighs 0.74.
Okay, and why is it so brilliant? What's the difference between those two?
Well, it's because the 0.74 diamond is being cut to maximize light return. Mm-hmm. Physics dictates a certain set of angles in order to maximize the light return.
Okay.
But as I said before, most diamonds are cut to save as much weight as possible from the rough diamond.
Sure.
Because it's very valuable material.
Yeah.
I tell people, it's a crude analogy. It's like buying a nice steak. If you
That's right.
If you trim the fat off,
Yep.
then you're going to pay more per pound, but you're going to eat everything, assuming there's no bone there.
Yeah. So is this really brilliant one, the one that's just, I mean, even on my cell phone you can tell, is that what's considered a heart star diamond?
That's one of our heart star diamonds.
Okay, and you're the only guys that have the heart star diamond.
That's our brand.
Okay.
And these are diamonds that are cut to maximize light return. You won't find a prettier diamond anywhere else.
No, I mean, and that's why I keep remarking. I'm going to tilt it up again, so it sees the light. That's why I keep remarking. Even though it weighs less, look at how that thing looks. I can't even imagine what that's going to look like in somebody's engagement ring. Now, what else do you have? He's got a couple of little packages of loose diamonds here with him.
I've got another diamond I'm going to show you that's a highly touted designer diamond, okay?
A designer diamond?
Well, it's what's the word? It's a branded diamond that's advertised by some of the, I won't mention any names, but some of the major chains.
Okay.
Okay. This weighs 0.80. And it's still a little bit smaller than
so it's
0.74.
All right, so it's 0.80. I still like the Heart Star one, quite frankly. I mean, I'm trying to catch as much light as I can in all three of them, but the little bit of light, and you got a lot of light in here. Yeah, the Heart Star still, I mean, it just like pops,
right?
You know.
So this diamond is also, although it's 0.80, this is 0.74. This has still got a smaller diameter, or very close to this.
Yeah.
So the diamond is being cut a little too deep in order to save some weight.
So when people come in, because most people have no idea. I mean, they're going to look at all these diamonds here, in the case and everything. When they come in, what do you tell them to look for? Carat weight or cut or clarity, or what's most important, you think?
Most important is the cut, because if it's not cut correctly, it's not going to maximize the light return, so it's not going to be as pretty.
Okay.
The other things that affect the value, the color and the clarity, the values are based on rarity, not necessarily beauty. Beauty is what you see as a consumer.
Beauty's in the eye of the beholder,
100%. And so, colorless diamonds command a premium only because they're rare.
Okay.
If all diamonds were colorless, we probably couldn't give them away. I mean, that's
I never thought of that, but yeah, you're right.
It's human nature. We always want what there's little of and put more value on it.
Sure, absolutely.
And then the other factor is the clarity, which where you're referring to the inclusions in the stone.
Yeah.
Flawless diamonds are rare, so they command a premium. And another analogy I use is amber. If you have a clear piece of amber, which is fossilized resin, 6 million years old maybe. If you have a clear piece, it doesn't have much value. But if you have a piece of amber with a mosquito or a spider, then it's worth some real money because that insect was trapped in there 6 million years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Now then, if all amber had bugs in it, nobody'd want it.
Right.
You know?
So when it comes to the diamond, though, and the clarity, is there an advantage to having a flaw? Is there a way that a cutter can use that flaw to make the diamond look better?
No, the only advantage of having an inclusion is that it can help you identify the fact that it's natural. Okay.
Oh, okay.
But when they get large and unsightly, then they affect the path of light in the diamond. And so you want to, and of course the value drops because of that.
So a good cutter will be able to get through all of that.
Well, what they do is when they have a crystal with they have to plan at the beginning what they're going to wind up with based on inclusions or lack of, or where they are. If there's something large in there that they don't want to have in the stone, they're going to have to maybe change the shape from a round to a.
So when they sit down with this, with one of those two. And you can see on this chart, there's one drawn there, and there's one drawn there. When they sit down with one of those two original quartz or crystals, that's when they decide what shape this is going to end up looking like?
That can inclusions in the stone can affect that. Yes, and it can affect that decision. Also, the shape of the crystal can dictate what they're going to wind up finishing. I mean, it's good because some diamonds on their journey to the earth, they get fractured or broken, the crystals.
Oh, okay.
So the crystal might be flattish, which we call them macle, and that would usually be cut into a marquee or a pear shape where you have a little flatter stone.
Okay. Now you don't actually cut yourself, right? You're not a cutter.
No, sir. Fred.
Is that a very specialized role?
It's a highly skilled trade. That's for sure.
And is that what Ali does here, or is?
No. Ali's Ali's our manager.
Ali's the manager. Okay. So you've been doing this for how long? 40 years? 50 years?
Yeah, probably since 1959. I've been
really
been setting and working with diamonds and jewelry.
Oh my gosh, you've been doing this a long time. When did you get here to town?
I came in '66.
In '66. Oh, you were here long before I got here then. I didn't get here until 1980. So you were well established by the time I got here. So out of these three, now what can you do with these three? Pretty much anything? I mean, I could. Is that something that I would put in? See, on my phone, they look so big. They're really kind of small, like you said.
We have bigger ones that we can put in something for your wife.
So that's what I'm thinking. So what would you do with those? What is that a good size for a ring or an earring or a necklace? Or
you could put that in any number of mountings for an engagement ring. I mean, this is 3/4 carat. It's going to look bigger when it's in the mounting, when you get it on the finger.
Yeah.
And we use smaller diamonds in this for engagement rings. Just depends on the budget and what you.
Yeah. And I know you've got, because we've talked about it on the air, I know you've got that kind of like an uptick guarantee that if I want to come in and get a bigger diamond, I can at any time, which is kind of nice.
We have a limit of up to $20,000.
Yeah. Wow.
So if you buy a diamond for $15,000, we'll give you $15,000 for it towards a larger diamond.
Oh my gosh!
But we cap it at $20,000 because.
Oh, sure.
What we're doing is we're giving you everything back that you paid for originally.
Oh, okay.
So we're starting from scratch again.
Now, what's the advantage? Because we've talked on the air about you being a direct diamond merchant and having the loose diamonds, so you have so many more than everybody else. How is that an advantage over some of the other places?
Well, we deal right with the cutter.
Okay.
And so you cut out the middleman. So there's a lot of brokers in the business, and a lot of times the diamond will go through several hands before it winds up at the retailer or the consumer. So the fewer hands that can pass through, usually the better value you can get.
Now, do you have any, you deal right with the cutters, do you have any say-so? Do you ever see them like this and have any input into what you would like them to look like, or is that strictly up to the guys, the experts who do the cutting?
You don't tell the doctor how to do the back surgery.
You'd get kicked out of the room at that point. David, we don't need you in here. We're the cutters. Mind your own business. Is that the kind of thing?
That's right. I mean, that's an area that you leave to the experts.
Absolutely. Well, and see, that's the nice thing about your place. It's all based on expertise. You're an expert in what you do. You rely on the cutters who are experts in what they do. Right. Your salespeople here are experts in what they do. So when people come in, they're going to deal with people who know exactly what's going on and can answer all your questions. That's the best part about it.
And we don't pressure. I mean, what we try to do is what I like to tell you is what I would like to know if I was in your shoes. There's no secret. It's just that people don't talk about it enough, so the consumer doesn't get educated.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I wanted to come in and do the video, because I had no idea about any of this stuff that you told me about, where they come from, and the fact that in some places they're just laying out on the beach and stuff, or anything about the cutting. And I'll show you these again. Such beautiful pieces. And I got to tell you, that heart star is just absolutely amazing. Yeah, and it's all because of the cut, right?
Yeah, they're beautiful. I mean, you don't. I'm not sure if this will show up on your camera or not, but you don't need the bright showcase lights. If you.
No, I can see that pretty clearly. Move your tweezers just a little bit. Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah, you can see it sparkle. Yeah, I mean, it's like seeing a large star up in the sky almost.
See, when a diamond is cut, it's designed to so that any light that strikes the surface is directed to the bottom of the stone, and it's like a kaleidoscope. Those facets have to be aligned perfectly with one another, and then it bounces off each side and comes back through the top.
That is just amazing, how they do that. It's just incredible that it goes from that chunk to that. Just because of a guy. What do they use now to cut a diamond?
Another diamond.
Another diamond. Right. Okay, that's the only thing that's hard enough to do that?
That's right.
It's just incredible that they can take that and make that like that. And that you end up getting to put it in a ring or a necklace or whatever, or you can just come in and take a look at the ones that are already here. Got a wonderful selection when you come out to the castle. That's David Fairclough right there. As a matter of fact, it's David Fairclough, Fine Jewelers.
That